And welcome back to Ravnica, or Guilds of Ravnica spoilers, day 4. We've got 2 guild leaders. We've got almost all our guild leaders now been spoiled. And we start off today, well, there's technically more cards to talk about than what is actually here. But, geez, we got a lot of cards to talk about. I'm going to have to be relatively brief as I can be, because where did I end with the last time? I ended on Night Veil Predator. All right. So first, let's talk about one of our headliners here. Lazav. We got Demir's Guildmaster now. Lazav, the Multifarious, kind of like Nefarious. He's a shapeshifter. It's a play. It's actually clever, I think. He's a 1/3, black blue. Literally just one black, one blue. So he's the cheapest guild leader I've ever seen. He has, when he enters the battlefield, you surveil 1. Then you can pay X. This card becomes a copy of target creature card in the graveyard with converted mana cost X or less. With the converted mana cost X, except its name is Lazav The Multifarious. It's legendary, and it has the ability to continue to do that in change forms, aka the shapeshifting thing, which Lazav had in his first ability, or his first interpretation. I'll say this right now. I like this card. I like this card a lot. You can get this out in turn 1. What's turn 1? You can get it out in turn 2. No problem. You can surveil for 1. And they can honestly just sit there, really, and just chill. I mean, yes, it's at risk of dying, but most things are at risk of dying. If you want to play it late game, you can. Activate its ability right off the bat, you can. What I really like about this card, though, is this, and again, I'm thinking from the perspective of a limited sealed kind of person, casual kind of person, is that you don't have to actually stick with a blue or black card in a deck that's running one or two of these guys. You get this guy on the field, you could have a big, beefy green or red creature, or a white angel, or frickin', we'll get to the guild leader for the Boros in a little bit. We can get to Aurelia. You could have those cards in there, serve no other purpose, technically speaking, than to just play that, though you could have some mana ramp, I'm sure. And just get into the graveyard, and it can become a copy of that card. This can become a copy of Impervious Great Worm, a 16/16 indestructible that could change into something else that doesn't become useful. I like this card. Has very many facet multi-purposes. I really do enjoy it. That being said, though, unfortunately, I believe the last Lazav, though, did have hexproof. So, unlike the other interpretation, this thing has no other form of protection to it, aside from turning into something that maybe has hexproof. So it's very squishy and will die easy unless you can transform it. So you might want to hold off on it for a few turns until you at least have something more powerful than him in the graveyard. But that's my interpretation. Radix Cyclops is 1 red, 3 of any color for a 0/8 Cyclops Shaman. Rare. Trample. Whenever you cast a instant or sorcery spell, this card gets plus X plus O until the end of the turn, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. There was another Cyclops in Dragon's Maze. Give me 1 second. Where is my blue deck? You know what? I'm not going to bother looking for it right now, because I don't know if I still use it. It had essentially the same effect, but it was a little cheaper. It cost 1 of each color, but it was a 1/4. And it lost Defender, and it got bigger. It had Defender. This one has Trample, so you at least have that. But really, what you're trying to capitalize with this one is the Jumpstart cards. Can play a Jumpstart card for 3 and then Jumpstart again. So whatever the effect is, assume you're not pumping this guy. You can make this a 6/8 with Trample. That's fine. The problem is you have to put some effort into it. And if you're not playing spells with big enough mana cost to them, it's not going to matter. Like the 1-drop that gives you +1/+1 in flying, you're not going to want to play that with this card. So there's possibilities depending on what type of spells we have. But ultimately, I'm not really a big fan of it. I'm not against it because I do kind of like cards like this, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Passwall Adept is 1 blue, 1 of any color for a 1/3 human wizard. You may pay 2 and 1 blue. Target creature cannot be blocked this turn. So basically make something unblockable. It's a 1/3 for 2 that has an upside. It's good. Yeah, honestly, this can just still chill on the field for a little bit on turn 2, and then, come turn 3, hopefully you got 3 mana, and then play something. Turn 4, make it unblockable. Yeah, it's fine. Conclave Guild Mage. We have the rest of the Guild Mages, by the way. 1 white, 1 green for a 2/2 Elf Cleric. So right there is a bear. It's good. You can pay 1 green. Target creature you control gains trampled at the end of turn. Or you can pay 5 any color and 1 white. Create a 2/2 green white elf knight creature token with vigilance. I'll be honest, this is definitely one of the weaker ones. It's not going to serve any. None of its abilities serve any purpose when it first comes out. Assuming you get it out in turn 2 or 3, it's not going to serve any purpose. You need something big enough to give trample, so it's worth having trample, and you then have to tap a 2/2 down. So then you're basically making your field a bit exposed. And a 2 green white elf creature token for 6. I mean, yeah, it's to further your convoke abilities, and there's a couple new convoke cards we can talk about in a little bit, but ultimately, I don't like this one. This is not a good guild mage, I don't think. Price of Fame is 1 black, 3 any color for a uncommon instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it's targeting a legendary creature. Destroy target creature, surveil for 2. There's a lot of legendary creatures in the set, so yeah, you're basically doing doomblading something. And then you get the surveil for 2. Even on its own merit, it's still an instant for 4 mana. So even if you're not killing a legendary creature, it's not bad. It's not bad. We have True Fire Captain, who is 2 white, 2 red for a 4/3 human knight with mentor. Whenever it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. First off, it's clear that this is actually now a cycle. The double-costed monocle, the 2 of any color, 2 of any color. So 2 black, 2 blue for the Dimir one. The Golgari is 2 green, 2 black. This one's the Boros one. So this is clearly a cycle. I'll be interested to see what the Simic one looks like when we get to that set. And the Gruul one. This one, though, honestly, I mean, so far, most of these are actually pretty solid. Like, really solid. Let me actually go back and get to a couple of the other ones here. I'm trying to think now. I don't think we've seen the Isn't one, though. I'm trying to remember if we got got one that was like that with the Is It. Pretty much going back to the very beginning. So, let's see here now. Alright, so what was the first one of these we got anyway? I think it was the Golgari one. Let me, was that the first one that was spoiled? The Golgari one? I believe it was? There's been a lot of cards that have been spoiled. I theoretically just go to the multi-card page, John here. Yeah, okay, it was the Golgari one that was spoiled. That one's honestly pretty okay. It's a 3/4 that basically brings a card back from the graveyard. That's a pretty good card. Again, the Nightveil Predator one, that's a 3/3 flying Death Touch Hexproof. That's every day, all day if you got that card. And now we have both the True Fire Captain, and I believe also we have the Selesnya one spoiled as well. We don't have the Is It one, as to the best of my knowledge. But no, this one, the True Fire Captain, this is good because, I mean, you're going to attack. It's a 4/3, so it's already big enough that you need to block it. You can't let more than 1 or 2 of these go through, otherwise you're screwed. Because this thing can wipe out a full fifth of your life, a full 20% of your life, 20% of your life, no problem. Assuming you're not doing life gain. And then, of course, you have the Mentor add on to it, so it still pumps things up. And then you have the secondary ability where whatever damage is dealt to it, it deals it back to the target player. So, yeah, you need to deal with this pretty quickly, in all honesty. I dig it. I like that card. Centaur Mediator. 1 white, 1 green, 1 of any color for a 3/3 Centaur Cleric. Enters the battlefield. Each player gains 4 life. I don't like this one that much. It's basically a reprint / up the version or repurposed version of a different Centaur that basically did that, except you gained 3 life and that was it. Now you're giving both players 4 life? Why? I don't get that. I get Mediator. You're trying to, balance things out. But I don't know. I don't like that very much. I've been finding myself saying in a couple of instances that there's quite a few of at least the lower level cards I don't like, or just not a fan of. League Guild Mage is the Is It 1 blue and 1 red, 2/2 human wizard, uncommon. It's minor bit. It's 3 and 1 blue, so 4 mana. Tap and draw a card. Seems about right. And then X and 1 red. Copy target instant or sorceries you control and convert mana cost of X. You may choose a new target for it. The blue with the draw card, that makes sense. It's Izzet. It's got great art, by the way. Even the cards I don't like have great art on them. That X ability, that red and X ability is a unique one. It's not going to be good early on unless you got some just like missions briefing. We'll get to cost 2 blue. So you could, if you had 5 mana, you could theoretically do that twice. That's different. But it's the late game that I find this card could really be interesting. A lot of the copy effects don't tend to work out very well, but if you've got some burn damage going on and then you decide to do this, that could become a problem very quickly. We'll see what happens. See, I could see myself, if I've got the right cards, I could see this making this work. I could definitely see this making this work, but we'll see what happens. Mission briefing, as I just said, is 2 blue for a rare instant. Surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast this card this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. It's essentially a instant version of Snapcaster to some degree. They use that as a comparison anyway. And you already Surveil 2. I'm still iffy on how I feel about Surveil. I think I like it better than Undergrowth, but I don't know if I like it as it's my favorite ability of the guild so far. Honestly, not many of the abilities of the guilds aren't overwhelmingly like wow, but some of them are better. I think Surveil is definitely one of the better ones. I don't mind Jumpstart. I think Jumpstart's pretty okay. Convoke's always good. Mentor's not bad, but Undergrowth, eh. But no, this is a good card. I can dig it. Doom Whisperer, 2 black. 2 black, 3 of any color for a 6/6 Nightmare Demon. So apparently the Dimir have a lot of nightmare creatures on their side. Flying, trample. You can pay 2 life and Surveil 2. This card is nothing but value. If you are in black, you will play this all the damn time. Because that pay 2 life is an optional ability. If you want to Surveil, you can. If you already got Surveilling, you don't need to pay it. And you still get a 6/6 Flying Trample for 5. This thing is nothing but value. You play it all the time. And it's horrifying because it's apparently a demon nightmare with multiple arms. City Watch Sphinx, 1 blue with 5 of any color for a 5/4 Sphinx uncommon. When it dies, you Surveil 2. It's a 5/4 flying for 6 with no real downside, so yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Thoughtbound Phantasm, 1 blue for a 2/2 Spirit with Defender uncommon. Whenever you Surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on this card, and as long as this card has 3 or more +1/+1 counters, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So as long as it's a 5/5. Yeah, you'll defend. See, it's a decent one. Again, pre-release wise, this is going to be, or sealed wise, this is going to be a good card because you're going to be in the deck. That's the thing. If you're in the deck, that's the important thing. Otherwise, this card's useless. It's just a 1/2. It's just a 2/2 for 1 that does nothing. But yeah, in the environment that you're going to use it in, or the deck you're going to use it in, this card's actually something you'd want to run. At least 2 of them. Darkblade Agent, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 of any color for a 2/3 human assassin, common. As long as you've surveilled this turn, this creature has Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's fine, but you still need to surveil. The problem I'm getting with a lot of these cards is it's not like when a card goes to the graveyard or anything like that. It's specifically for surveilling. And again, in the limited environment, if you're going to make a surveil deck, great. Otherwise, this card is useless. It's just a 2/3 for 3. Okay, it's not useless. It's a 2/3 for 3, so it's usable, even though it's 2 colors. But still, just Garrison Sergeant. 1 white, 1 red, 3 of any color for a 3/3 common Fashino Soldier, which looks like it'd be just a green. I like some of the other Fashinos better. This Fashino looks weird. Has double strike as long as you control a gate. So you are being rewarded for having gates. That's cool. I can be behind that. That's all right. Yeah, make that gate deck possible. We will make it happen. Hey, I've got Maze's End. I could make a gate deck if I really felt inclined. Wojek Bodyguard, 1 red, 2 of any color for a 3/3 human soldier with Mentor, can't attack or block alone, which I get it. It's got Mentor. They've made cards like this before. Okay. It's for 3 mana. All right. I can think of many better cards to play for 3 mana. Legion Guild Mage is the Boros Guild Mage, and I believe that basically sums up all our Guild Mages at that point, at least for this set. 1 white, 1 red for a 2/2 human wizard. You may pay 5 and 1 red to tap this card and deal 3 damage to each opponent. You pay 2 and 1 white, tap to another target creature. This one's not bad. The tapping is going to be useful. If you have the mana to put in for the 3 damage, great. But, you know, I'd assume you'd have to be in a good board state to be spending 6 mana just to do 3 damage to your opponent. And that's assuming this thing lives. But no, it's alright. Aurelia, I believe it's Aurelia is her name. Exemplar of Justice. 1 white, 1 red, 2 of any color for a 2/5 legendary creature, mythic angel. Flying and mentor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control. Until the end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains trample if it's red and vigilance if it's white. Now, off bat, I'd say this is not the best card. It's a 2/5 with mentor that's not going to be doing much, but obviously what you're going to really be using it with is it's her own ability, which pumps up a creature and gives it trample, gives it vigilance. Gives it trample and vigilance, which would make her a 4/5, and then flying and mentor, which actually then puts her as a pretty solid card. Honestly, it's a pretty solid card. I really kind of like that card actually. So yeah, I'm digging on Aurelia. So now we basically need to see Tristana. What does Tristana look like? And that Dimir guild, their Dimir champion card, basically the second in command. Sky Knight Legionnaire gets a reprint. 2/2 flying haste, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 of any color. It's always been good, always will be good. Glowspore Shaman, 1 black, 1 red, green for a 3/1 Elf Shaman uncommon. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. You may put a land card from your graveyard on top of your library. The Golgari now are about having things in your graveyard. I get it. I don't know. I'm really not digging on Golgari this time around. Not feeling it very much. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, people who work with decks that basically, discard cards of the grave, I'm sure they might find that more useful. I just don't. That's my opinion. Orcran Assassin, 1 black, 1 green, 1 of any color for a 1/1 Elf Assassin, Death Touch. All creatures able to block Orcran Assassin do so. There's my name. Assassin do so. You need to pump this thing up. If you can pump it up, you have a good board wipe there. If you can at least get it to maybe 3 or 4, then you have a solid card there. But at 1, yeah, every creature that can block it needs to block it can, but all you're going to be doing is assigning 1 damage to something. So you need to increase it. If you can increase it, if you can pump it up, it's a solid card. It's a solid card if you can pump it up. But otherwise, it's gonna you'll kill 1 thing. That's it. Which is good. Which even then still puts it as an okay card. Knight of Autumn. 1 white, 1 green, 1 of any color for a 2/1 Dryad Knight rare. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. Choose 1 of the following. Put 2+1/+1 counters on Knight of the Autumn. Destroy target enchantment or artifact, or gain 4 life. This thing is just good. This is just a solid good card. For 3 mana, you'll be getting at the very minimum a 2/1, which honestly is it's still okay. They'll either destroy an enchantment or an artifact, which is honestly can be important depending what your game stat is, or it'll just gain you 4 life. Or if you feel you're in a better board state for 3 mana, you can get a 4/3. This is just a good card. I like cards that give you options. This is good. I like it. Affection. I like this card. It's just a thing nuzzling some guy. Just affectionate Indrik. Just this big loving monster just nuzzling someone. He's like, I love you. 1 green, 5 any color, so 6 for 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. Okay, it's gonna be usable. It's gonna be usable. Blood Operative. 2 black, 1 of any color for a 1/3 Vampire Assassin rare. Lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a target card from your graveyard, or a graveyard, to say. When you surveil, whenever you surveil, if Blood Operative is in your graveyard, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return Blood Operative to your hand. So basically, this thing already exiles something in the graveyard. Most likely, you're going to target your opponent's graveyard, so they don't have less options with, say, Undergrowth or Jumpstart, something like that. And then you're basically can say, hey, I'm going to surveil. And see, this is one of those cards that really makes it worth it to actually hit surveil. It already has lifelink, so you can gain 3 life. This you can basically pay life, put it back in the field, and then or put it back into your hand, and then play it again and exile more stuff. I like this card. This is actually this is a good card. I like it. I do like it. And I don't like black. Black's my least favorite color, so when I see a black card I like, you can take that to the bank. Last card for the day, unless they spoil something else, which I don't think they will, is Venerated Loxodon. Okay, Venerated. I guess that means something like veteran. 1 white, 4 of any color for a rare Elephant Cleric with Convoke. We already know what that does. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that convoked it. That is kind of cool. See, I misread that the first time. I thought it got the +1/+1 counter, which essentially just means it's a big, beefy whatever. But no, you're convoking, you're basically putting a +1/+1 on everything that convoked it. That is kind of cool. That's cool. That actually is a really cool way to reward your convoking. Reward it, like, just a lot of people like to convoke with saplings or tokens, stuff like that. So just pump up your sapling. Now you got little 2/2s on them, slightly bigger 2/2s. Once you start getting to 2 and 3, now you have legitimate threats on the field. Especially if you got a small chump army that turns into a bigger or less chump army. No, that's not bad at all. I mean, it's 5 mana, but if you're convoking, it's not 5 mana. So, I mean, realistically, you'll probably play it for 3. So you're already getting a 4/4 for 3. And that means you'll be pumping up 2 creatures on the field. I like this card. I really do. If I go with green-white instead of doing red-blue, if I go with Slezzy instead of Izzet, I would hope to get one of these, definitely. But yeah, that's my thoughts on today's card spoilers. Look, for every card I don't like, there's like 2 cards I love. So I'm still loving what I'm seeing out of this set, absolutely. And we're not even halfway through yet. No, we're not even. We hit the half. Oh no, wait, maybe not. Because it's 136. We are at 122 of. No, we're not even at the halfway mark yet. So, yep, again, looking forward to it. Should note that we are seeing, admittedly, more of like the Dimir and Izzet, and now we got some more Boros cards. And Dimir and Golgari have been getting a lot of spotlight over the last couple days. Hopefully, that's going to start to change up a bit. Not that I mind, just hopefully it'll change up for the people who want to see more of those cards. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I just would win Star Wars, Superior Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you